Hello and welcome back. It's been a while since I've done a feature game, but I was recently given this replay from Soul, who's playing the Minotaur in this game. And as we will see, he will have a pretty good game, and it's definitely worth having a look at. It is a CV game, and only one DD, so there is plenty of battleships and also cruisers to do a lot of damage to for Soul. He is starting a game over in the west, and he has 4 ships with him, a Des Moines and 2 battleships. The only DD is in the middle, going for C, and then it's fairly split. The 2 CVs are finding each other straight away over at D. And while Soul and the Minotaur has very good concealment, it is always risky when you don't know where the DD is. So it looks like he's taking a fairly slow approach forward, allowing the Des Moines to push as well, hopefully to be able to catch any potential DD with radar in case one pushes too far. Otherwise, Soul should be able to detect anything else. CVs are still busy over at D, so there is nothing else here that can really spot. Runs into the Des Moines a bit, throwing out some torps when the enemy Edinburgh is detected. And he's being really aggressive for such a squishy ship. So opens up when he has pushed far enough, slows down, and he will also smoke up. He's being radared, and is either the Yang or the Salem, because as we will see later, he is here as well. Nevertheless, Soul stays in smoke, and the Republic doesn't seem at all interested in shooting at him, so he's being completely safe. Edinburgh was forced to fall back, hardly surprising since he was taking a lot of damage. So Soul can instead try to farm some damage on the Republic. The enemy team has a Henry inside C trying to cap, pushing out the gearing. And over at D, that cap is still being uncontested. Now, for whatever reason, again we see the Edinburgh pushing in really hard. It is difficult to understand why, since it went the way it did last time, and we see once again that he is under heavy fire, and he is going down. Soul gets the kill. And now we also see the Salem behind the island here. And there's also a smoke from Yu Yang over in the west. So that is still something that will be a potential issue. Soul opens up on enemy Henry, that has finished Captain C, since he was sailing and giving broadside. Starts getting fired at in return, surprisingly even from the Yu Yang. But it's very minimal damage and nothing that the Minotaur can't handle. And it easily goes undetected again. Now Soul was able to utilize his smoke quite well. 85k damage. He had a long while where he could just farm the Republic, and even though he was radar, there was nothing really that shot at him, so it was a pretty decent outcome, all things considered. Some planes are spotting Soul. The turret is opening up, both with his secondaries and his main guns. Soul smokes up. The shells are basically already in the air. And he does eat a fairly significant hit. But thanks to Mino heal, he can get back a lot of what he lost. Now, once again, we see an enemy ship pushing really hard when he really should be running away. Instead of turning away when the Mino smoked up, the turret turns in, and there's just no escape for him right now. Soul also has support from some other ships, so it's just a matter of time before the turret goes down. Now he's getting closer to the smoke detection range, so that is something Soul has to be mindful of, or at the very least be ready for when Turpy shoots, so he can shoot in between. Soul storms hits though, at least one of them, and Turpy goes down as expected. However, Soul doesn't get the kill, but once again he has managed to get a decent amount of damage from his smoke. And Yang is spotted at the same time as the Salem is pushing up. Soul prioritizes get some damage on the Yang. I think getting rid of him would be really beneficial. Salem stops giving a very nice broadside. And that's a really strange position and a really strange push from the Salem, because he's just asking for heavy damage. He turns fire on Soul. And even though Soul himself does not get any massive hits on the Salem, he has friendly ships that help taking him down. Soul was taking some damage from several directions here. The Salem goes down though, and Soul can try to turn away to get into a better position again. See an enemy Bismarck. He's fairly low, so Soul attempts to take him out, even though he's shooting in the open right now. Gets fairly lucky, not too bad of a hit. But we are seeing that Soul's HP is starting to dwindle a bit. Meanwhile, the enemy team now has control over A, and they are attempting capping D as well. but Soul will be able to kill off the Bismarck, and he gets the Confederate Award while he does so. And he's up to 181,000 damage, even though the game is only 10 minutes long. So that's not too bad at all. Republic is pushing into D, so Soul tried to get in a position where he can't get fired at, but still get some hits on the Republic in return, which he managed to do quite well. I would say so far, even though Soul had been playing this very well as you can really, he has been rather lucky with ships pushing into him and not really shooting at him when he's detected, not even when he's radared in smoke. But in a ship like Mino, you need quite often a bit of luck when you get these really high damage games, since you are so squishy and can easily be deleted. Good positioning will of course help a lot, but every once in a while it is almost unavoidable that you end up in positions where you need to rely more on luck than anything else. Soul has passed 200,000 damage now. His team is trying to take back A, while the enemy team is still attempting to take D, but failing really due to Soul's constant spam and Jean Bart's support. Soul's team is behind on ships though, only one, so it's not too bad, and slightly behind on points as well. Soul gets the High Caliber Award as well, as he farms the Buffalo a bit. But as the Buffalo is returning fire, Soul decides to smoke up. Jean Bart is obviously under heavy fire now. The Republic goes down, but we still have the Buffalo, and there's an Iowa just past the small gap between the islands on the east side of D. The CV is also continuously striking, trying to bring him down. Because the Buffalo is now leaving the range of Soul, he is forced to leave the smoke as well. So it was not the best usage this time, but he and Jean Bart managed to bring down the Republic. The Buffalo is getting real low and made it impossible for the enemy team to take control of D. Soul's team did also manage to take A. So now they are actually one cap ahead. Jean Bart is now taking a lot of damage, and it will not be too long before he goes down as well. The Courier is in range for Soul, so he tries to take the opportunity to take a bit of his HP while he can, since getting rid of the CV would definitely be a big help for his team. Now, as I said, Jean Bart is about to go down. A is being contested by the enemy team again. So Soul is trying to take control of D. Now, what is up next is, in my opinion, without a doubt, the best thing in this entire game. Not only because Soul plays this nearly perfectly, but also because the Iowa also really plays it very well, which is actually quite uncommon. Soul's in a position where he can now torp the Iowa in case he pushes out. But the Iowa, knowing that there is a Mino close and that the cap has been flipped, takes it very slow and makes sure he doesn't allow torps to be fired. Soul attempts to shoot, hits the island and so does the Iowa. Soul goes forward again a little bit, trying to force the Iowa out, but again the Iowa is keeping really close to the island and refusing Soul the opportunity to torp. Meanwhile the Buffalo is trying his best to hit him, and here is where the Iowa makes a small mistake. He shoots his first salvo, or the first gun only, hits the island, and cannot stop in time. So while he gets a really good hit with his second turret, it's not enough to kill Soul, and instead the torpedoes land and the Iowa goes down. And Soul is about to break 300,000 damage, which is really good. He's forced to smoke up now though, to avoid the Buffalo, who is still trying to hit him in smoke, since getting a couple of good hits could potentially kill him. It's also likely that the Buffalo is trying to get up here to radar Soul, so he is leaving in order to be able to control the fight a bit better. I suspect that the Buffalo is radaring, Soul is already running, so he will have a easier time than if he was standing still. The friendly CV is coming to help him, and together they will be able to kill the Buffalo before Soul goes down. Soul also gets the kill and is now up to 4. Enemy CV is going for a strike with the rocket planes. The AA is doing a decent job shooting down, and with a bit of luck most of the rockets miss. And Soul now only has about 5,400 HP left. No heals, but the enemy team only has a CV left, so as soon as they can kill him, the game is over. They have controls of 3 of the caps, and they really shouldn't be able to fail at this point. It also only 1.5 minutes left, so that is another thing that is in favor of Soul's team. Planes are detected as the CV is trying to strike Soul again. Look as he is attempting a long-range torp strike, or maybe abandon it altogether, I'm not entirely sure. But enemy CV is pushing into C, which will allow Soul to try to get some more damage and another kill, which would be the 5th and Kraken. Now the CV is doing what he can, trying to get Soul killed, but another attack misses, and with 40 seconds to go, Soul can start hammering the courier for the end of this game. And with that, the game will end with a 5th kill for Soul and a really good damage game. And let's also take a quick look at a couple of the result screens. So Soul ends up doing 332,000 damage, which is really good. There's no doubt about that. Almost, over 250,000 shell hits, 7 torpedo hits, 36 planes, and 5 kills. So he eventually got the Kraken. Apart from the Kraken, he also got the High Caliber, the Dreadnought, the Confederate, and a devastating strike on the Iowa. And I said during the replay that yes, Soul was lucky at times that he managed to avoid damage when he was a really good target, but also that ships kept pushing into him, allowing him to farm a lot of damage from that. But then there were also sequences like the Iowa, where both players are doing basically everything they can, but small mistakes may the deciding factor, and since Soul made a smaller mistakes, he comes out on top and managed to get a really good kill and devastating strike on the Iowa. So even though, lucky, but he also played it as good as he possibly could, and he did it really well. Team score wise, 3,657 base XP, a really good result. The Jean Bart actually managed 2.2, which is also really good, but far, far behind from Soul. And after that, the score trickles down a bit, and we even have 2 ships that are below 1,000 quite a bit. Emmy team, nothing really stands out here. And it probably was closer than it should have been, but a lot thanks to Soul. His team managed to win this in the end. Quick look at the detail report also. 260,000 from the guns and 71 from torpedoes. And he spreads out the damage on a lot of different ships, but obviously Iowa stands out with the 68,000. Also the Republic that he shot at in the beginning with over 50,000 is really good. He also receives almost 75,000 damage, which in a Mino is definitely good. And that pretty much concludes it. A really well played game from Soul, and a pretty amazing end result. So, a well deserved win, and a really enjoyable replay to watch, I think, especially the sequence with Iowa. Either way, I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you next time.